The Director Series is made possible in large part by our generous supporters on Patreon. Please visit us at patreon.com/directorseries to see how your contribution enables the continued production of video essays and text articles on your favorite contemporary and classic film directors. Thank you. The late 2000s was a golden era for young adult fiction in both the novel and film mediums. Just look at the runaway success of Twilight or The Hunger Games, the books or the films. It doesn't matter because they're both equally prominent within the respective mediums. Whatever your personal stance on these properties, you can't deny their impact on pop culture. During this time, another book series and subsequent set of movie adaptations captivated an admittedly older set, Stieg Larsson's Millennium Trilogy. Named after the muckraking news magazine that central character Mikhail Blomkvist works for, the books and movies comprise 3 titles: The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, The Girl Who Played with Fire, and The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. In 2009, the first of the Swedish film adaptations came out based on Dragon Tattoo, featuring newcomer Noomi Rapace in a star-making turn as the series' cyberpunk heroine Lisbeth Salander. As the Swedish film trilogy proved successful both at home and abroad, it was inevitable that the major US studios would remake the property for American audiences. The task fell to Sony Pictures, who set up The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo with super producer Scott Rudin overseeing a screenplay by esteemed writer Steve Zaillian. Rudin's natural choice for a director was Fincher, who he had just worked with on The Social Network. Fincher was drawn to the story of 2 mismatched misfits trying to solve a decades-old murder, despite misgivings that he had become the go-to guy for serial killer films after the success of Seven and Zodiac. The tipping point came in Fincher's realization that he would be at the helm of one of the rarest projects in mainstream studio filmmaking, the hard R-rated franchise. James Bond himself headlines Fincher's pitch black tale, but it's a testament to Daniel Craig's ability that we're never actually reminded of his secret agent exploits throughout the nearly 3-hour running time. Craig has been able to avoid the sort of typecasting that doomed others like Pierce Brosnan before him, simply because he refuses to let his roles define him. As disgraced journalist Mikhail Blomkvist, he projects a slightly disheveled appearance that James Bond would never be caught dead in. It may not be the most memorable role of his career, but he turns in a solid, faultless performance regardless. The true spotlight goes to Rooney Mara's cold, antisocial hacker punk, Lisbeth Salander. Mara underwent a radical transformation for the role, even so far as getting real piercings, tattoos, dye jobs, and bleaching her eyebrows. Considering her previous collaboration with Fincher was as the squeaky clean girl next door in The Social Network, Mara's appearance in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is gut-level arresting. The depth of Mara's talent is evident in her unflinching confrontation with the most brutal aspects of her character arc. By giving herself over to the role entirely, she's able to take a character that was already so well defined by Rapace in the Swedish versions and make it completely her own. Her Best Actress nomination at the Oscars was very much deserved. Christopher Plummer, Stellan Skarsgård, and Robin Wright round out Fincher's compelling cast. Plummer is convincing as Henrik Venga, depicting the retired industrialist as a good-natured yet haunted old man. Skarsgård's Martin Venga is the current CEO of the family business, and his established gentleman persona cleverly hides his psychopathic, murderous inclinations. Wright plays Erica Berger, Blomkvist's co-editor at Millennium and his on-again, off-again lover. Wright is by her nature an intelligent and savvy woman, as evidenced not just here, but in her subsequent collaboration with Fincher in House of Cards.
So we're just going to come straight down the middle of this on the 21. I think we're going to want to be up kind of this height, and I'll stabilize it later.
In keeping with Fincher's affinity for digital filmmaking technology, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo takes advantage of the Red Epic digital cameras, the next generation of the type that The Social Network was shot on. The film is presented in Fincher's preferred 2:40:1 aspect ratio, but again, it's not true anamorphic. Besides being a reflection of Fincher's general distaste for the limitations of anamorphic lenses, the shooting of the image in full frame and the later addition of a widescreen matte in post-production is a testament to Fincher's need for control. This method allows him to compose the frame exactly as he wants, and the Red Epic's ability to capture 5,000 lines of resolution allows him an even greater degree of precision in zooming in on certain details, blowing up the image, or recomposing the shot without any loss in picture quality. This technology also affords better image stabilization without any of the warping artifacts that plague the process. Cinematographer Jeff Cronenweth returns for his third collaboration with Fincher, having replaced original director of photography Frédéric Bacard 8 weeks into the shoot for reasons unknown. Despite his initial position as a replacement DP, Cronenweth makes the picture his own, with his efforts rewarded by another Oscar nomination. Fincher's signature aesthetic is very appropriate for the wintry subject matter. His steely color palette of blues, greens, and teals evoke the stark Swedish landscape, and even warmer tones are dialed back to a colder yellow in Fincher's hands. The high contrast visuals are augmented by realistically placed practical lights that suggest cavernous interiors. Fincher's sedate camera eschews flash in favor of locked-off, strong compositions and observant, calculated dolly work. When the camera moves, it really stands out in an affecting way. Nowhere in the film is this more evident than in the shot where Craig's Blomkvist is in the car approaching Vanga's extravagant mansion for the first time. Presented from the forward-traveling POV of the car itself, the mansion grows larger in the center of the frame, the symmetrical framing conceit suggesting ominous perfection. The fact that the camera is stabilized makes for a smooth, foreboding shot that takes any sort of human element out of the equation, and replaces it with a fundamentally uneasy feeling. Like several key shots in Fincher's larger filmography, the Vanga estate approach would become a tastemaker shot that has been copied in his successive project House of Cards. Production designer Donald Graham Burt returns for his fourth Fincher film, artfully creating an authentic sense of place in the Swedish locations, while showing off his impeccable taste and eye for detail. Editing team Angus Wall and Kirk Baxter are key collaborators within Fincher's filmography, and The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo would become their second consecutive Oscar win for editing under the director's supervision. Their work for The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo really utilizes the advantages that digital filmmaking has to offer, creating a tone that's moody, but yet unlike conventional missing person thrillers. Angus and Wall establish a patient, plodding pace that draws the audience deeper into the mystery before they're even aware of it, echoing Blomkvist's own growing obsession with the case. Trent Reznor and his music partner Atticus Ross reprise their scoring duties, giving the musical palette of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo an appropriately electronic and cold, wintry feeling. Primarily achieved via a recurring motif of bells and ambient soundscapes, the score is also supplemented by a throbbing, heartbeat-like percussion that echoes Salander's simmering anger, as well as the encroaching danger at hand. One of Reznor's masterstrokes is his reworking of Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Song for the opening credits and trailer, featuring vocals by Yeah Yeah Yeah's frontwoman Karen O. Given a new coat of industrial electronic grunge, the rearrangement instantly conveys the tone and style of the film. Fincher's needle drops are few and far between in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but one source music track stands out because of the sheer audaciousness of its inclusion. In the scene where Skarsgård's Martin Vanga tortures Blomkvist in anticipation of butchering his prey, he fires up the basement stereo system and plays, of all songs, Enya's Orinoco Flow. The song acts as a hilarious counterpoint to the sheer darkness of the scene's events. However, our laughter becomes a nervous sort of chuckle, the kind we employ to hide a certain kind of fundamental unease and anxiety. Fincher's go-to sound guy, Ren Kleiss, was nominated for yet another Oscar with his standout mix, taking this noxious brew of sounds and turning it into a razor-sharp sonic landscape that complements Fincher's visuals perfectly. On his face, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo doesn't seem like it would call for a substantial amount of computer-generated visual effects. Fincher's background in VFX results in the incorporation of a surprisingly large quantity of effects shots. Almost every exterior shot during the Vanga sequences has some degree of digital manipulation applied to it in the way of subtle matte paintings, scenery extensions, and weather elements that blend together seamlessly to convey Fincher's moody vision and satisfy his desire for total control over his visuals. His affinity for imaginative opening title sequences also continues here. Set to the aforementioned Immigrant Song cover, the sequence plays like a dark nightmare version of those iconic James Bond title sequences, depicting key moments from the film in abstract, archetypical form, as a thick black ooze splashes around violently. The choice to incorporate a black-on-black color scheme is undeniably stylish. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo sees Fincher at the peak of his punk and technological aesthetic explorations. While she's not Fincher's creation, the character of Lisbeth Salander fits in quite comfortably within his larger body of work, the culmination of a long flirtation with punk culture. She is most certainly a product of the cyberpunk mentality, valuing rebelliousness through technological proficiency. Unlike other depictions of this subculture in mass media, it's easy to see that Fincher obviously respects it for what it is, and aims to portray it in a realistic manner. Here, he builds upon the downplayed foundation he laid in The Social Network by refusing to generate fake interfaces for Salander to use. He shows Salander actively Googling things, or looking people up on Wikipedia. He doesn't shy away from showing corporate logos and interfaces as they appear in real life. Fincher's body of work is defined by a distinctly nihilistic approach to story and character. With The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo in particular, These sentiments are a prominent part of the storytelling. These protagonists are morally flawed people who aren't afraid of doing bad things to get ahead. They're mostly atheists, and they don't care whether you like them or not. The themes of abuse that run through the narrative also reflect this overarching mentality, playing out in the form of authority figures exerting their influence and selfish desires over the women that depend on them. We see this reflected both on the bureaucratic level with Salander's lecherous caseworker, as well as on the familial level in Harriet Vanga's repeated rape and abuse at the hands of her brother. Architecture plays a subtle yet evocative role in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. One of the core themes of the story is the clash between New Sweden, represented by Salander's weapons-grade sexual ambiguity and technical proficiency, and Old Sweden, represented by the Vanga family's moneyed lifestyle and sprawling compound. This clash is echoed in the architecture that Fincher chooses to present. The Vanga estate consists of classical stylings and rustic cottages. Compare that to the harsh lines and modern trappings of Martin Vanga's minimalist cliffside residence, all clean lines and floor-to-ceiling glass, as well as the whole of Stockholm, very much the model of a modern European city. In showing us this duality of place and time, Fincher is able to draw a line that also points us directly to the narrative's major emphasis on the duality of man. Despite its effortless style and Oscar-caliber performances, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo never really connected with audiences. It opened at a disadvantage, placing third in its debut weekend and never rising above it during the rest of its run. There were, of course, the inevitable comparisons to the original series of film adaptations, with purists preferring them over Fincher's remake. Unfortunately, we will probably never get to see what Fincher would have done with the remaining two entries in the series, as the poor box office performance of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo most likely put the kibosh on further installments.